This list will help you get started with some of my favorite fragrances from 10 designers. Have you ever gone to a fragrance counter and the sales clerk comes up and hands you a little card and says, "Would you like to smell the greatest and newest and the hottest fragrances from this particular line?" Now, they don't actually understand or know whether it is or not. They're just mostly interested in making the sale. Not only can you be worn down by a pushy salesperson, but also your nose can take a hit. If you smell 3 to 5 fragrances back to back, spray and smell, your nose will literally be kaput, to the degree where all of them start smelling the same through the fog of the fragrance headache. I'll save you and your nose some stress with these top 10 fragrances from 10 designers. And of course, these are not in any kind of specific order. I just picked 10 and one from each designer because there's plenty of them and the video would be way too long. But these are truly the 10 that I really enjoy. And if I had to repurchase them, I would be happy to do so because I love each and every one of them and I wear each and every one of them. Number 1 or number 10, if we're going backwards, I chose to go upwards since it's not from worst to best. So number 1 is a Dolce & Gabbana fragrance. It is light blue forever. Now you could pick any of the other ones. You know, you could pick Oh Intense or Love is Love or Stromboli or Beauty of Capri or Swimming in Lipari. See what I'm getting at? There's many of them. Forever has a exquisite grapefruit scent that when you smell this, you literally feel like you're standing in Italy on the side road in those stands with a grapefruit stand right next to you. It's unbelievably real, this scent right here. And of course the dry down, equally beautiful, perfect for a hot Italian summer's day. The next one is going to be Acqua di Gio and it's Profondo. It is definitely a fragrance that I would go out and pick again if I ran out. Profondo to me is a little bit a newer take on the original Acqua di Gio fragrance, which that one's just starting to get a little bit dated. It's beautiful, but just a little bit dated. And of course, lots of people wear the Profumo, but Profumo to me is just a little bit too strong for an everyday wear. So I like the Profondo. It's sort of a mixture of all the flankers a little bit in there together. It's a little bit milder. This one also lasts long enough for a complete workday and it still smells good off your skin in the evenings. It's a really great scent. It's a lot easier to wear for me than the Profumo is. So this one is the one I suggest you go out and get, Profondo. The next one is going to be a Bulgari, number 3. And actually the Bulgari was hard to pick for me. I kind of went through and smelled all of them and I kind of tried to figure out which one am I going to put in this list. And for me, it is actually Bulgari Man and it's the Extreme. Now you're probably asking yourself, okay, why are you picking the Extreme and not the original? Or why not the Bulgari Man in Black? Those are really good as well. And for me, the Bulgari Man in Black, they're a little bit warmer. There's some tobacco in those, and they're just a little bit deeper in general. So they're not quite as easy to reach for as this one. More something for the evenings or the cooler weather. While this one right here, Bulgari Man Extreme, you can wear at any point. It's super easy to reach for, and you will literally smell great all day. All in all, this one is a green citrus fragrance with a woody dry down. 3 to 5 sprays, and you're good to go. Choice number 3. The next one is going to be a Bleu de Chanel. So you have the Eau de Toilette, you have the Eau de Parfum, and you have the Parfum. I have all 3 of these, and I have to say that in my personal opinion, the Eau de Parfum is the one that I would choose. The Eau de Toilette is going to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more airy, it carries a little bit more. And then of course the Parfum is a little bit denser, a little bit heavier, something for maybe the cooler weather or when it gets in the evenings, sits in a little bit closer. But the one that's the right kind of balance out of the Bleu de Chanel's is going to be the Eau de Parfum for me personally. It has the right kind of depth and it doesn't carry too much and it's not so dense where it sits close in. It's the perfect sort of mixture of what I like from this fragrance. And the scent profile itself is just the best one for me. And of course you can't go wrong with any of the picks. I just picked that one. It's my favorite out of the 3. Now the next one in this list, I think we're down to number 5 or up to number 5, is the perfect example of what's so confusing when you go out there. They all have similar names, you know, just something is changed a little bit, Le Perform here, Le this, Nuit that. There are like 20 flankers or more at this point of the Lum line from Yves Saint Laurent. There are so many flankers of this one, like I said, 20 or more. I did a complete rundown from the very first one to the latest one that just came out. If you're interested in seeing how they rank up and how they work together and how it's all placed and how they smell, I will link it in the cards for you. You can watch it now or you can watch it later. But for right now, I think the original is the best one to get. It's a beautiful, warm citrus, perfect for any occasion. You can wear this day or night. It's really a wonderful scent. Never going to offend anybody, and you're probably even going to get some compliments on this fragrance. Starting out, I think this is a classic for in anyone's collection, the first staple you should start with, and then you can branch out. This is also a good time for you to leave a like if you're getting anything out of this at all, and if you love fragrances or you just want to smell great, consider subscribing. That way you get more content about fragrances. So number 6 is going to be a Versace, and it is not going to be Versace Eros. It is Versace Ud Noir. This one right here, even if you do not like oud, you will like this one. Promise. It's such a wonderful scent. It doesn't smell like the typical oud at all. Of course, I could have gone, you know, with Versace Dylan Blue, but since we already have a blue fragrance in here, and I think that the Bleu de Chanel is a way better choice, Oud Noir is so good that it has been compared to a fragrance, Tom Ford Oud Wood, by Tom Ford, and you can get this one at a much better price. This one is a staple in many people's collection, and of course we said Tom Ford already, so I did pick one, and I would repurchase that one if I ran out. And of course it is going to be Tom Ford Ombre Leather. This one has the capabilities of actually turning heads when you wear this one. When I wear this one, I'll always get compliments. This is a perfect fragrance for when you feel like being a little bit louder, smelling amazing, and maybe wearing some leather. Unfortunately, this one right here is going to be a little bit more on the heftier side. Most Tom Fords are just a little bit more. But you know what? You can get away with 2 to 3 sprays on this one, and it's literally worth every penny. The next one is a really interesting one. This is our number 8. And number 8 is a fragrance that you can wear on a date only if you know the person already. Because if you don't, this fragrance will be way too presumptuous. And it is Dior Homme, and it's the Intense. This one right here is an absolute stunning fragrance created by François Demachy, and I just want to know, or would like to know, what was the perfumer thinking when he created this really amazing, beautiful iris that's a little bit lipsticky, but masculine enough and sensual enough for a man to wear. An absolute gorgeous date scent. And if you're out there looking for a date scent or something that just smells absolutely seductive, Dior Homme Intense, that's a fragrance with some iris in it. Absolutely beautiful. The number 9 spot belongs to a fragrance by Prada, and it is from the Prada Lum line. I picked Prada Lum Intense for the one that you should get. It's a super unique scent. It's absolutely stunning. This one merges the lovely note of iris, which we discussed a little earlier, some leather, and the wonderful earthy note of patchouli. This one is an absolute stunner. Anybody that smelled it will not forget what it smells like. It's that good. Unfortunately, it's been discontinued, and therefore it's going to be a little bit harder to find. But go out, get yourself a sample, and smell this one. It lasts all day. Beautiful projection, just the right amount, and it's a super unique fragrance. It's a crying shame that this one looks like it's been discontinued. So don't wait too long. The prices will go up. That's my number 9, Prada Lum Intense. Absolutely stunning fragrance from Prada. And I told you earlier on that I have something that I didn't pick Versace Eros on purpose. I got something that's equally as good, and they just have a newer version of it. Also, there's many flankers in this one. And my number 10 is a great one to finish this list off with. And the final one is going to be one for a person who likes to go out and stay out until the wee hours in the morning, Jean Paul Gaultier style. This torso has literally been around the world. I wore Lamel back in the 90s and I still love the scent profile today. Although nowadays I mostly wear flankers. I don't wear the original one that much anymore. Of course, just like all the other ones, there are many flankers and it's hard to tell which one you like or which one should you get. This one is my number one pick, and that's Lamel Le Perform. Now, if you're still thinking of getting the original one, it is okay. It is a little bit dated, however, not in a scent way, but in an awareness way. So if you want that profile, the Le Perform is the perfect way to go because it is an updated scent. So I kind of think of it like this is the older brother of the kid from the 90s. Refined, updated, and it's absolutely beautiful. It will last all night long and you will be absolutely set for whatever the night brings with Lamel Le Perform from 2020. I hope you enjoyed this quick rundown of 10 fragrances from 10 designers that I would immediately go out and repurchase if I ran out of them. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got anything out of this all, leave it a like. I want to thank you in advance. And if you want more content on fragrances, don't hesitate to subscribe. I'd love to have you on board. Until next time, I want you to take good care of yourself. Always smell nice, and I will talk to you soon. Until then, Centrail.